What's up, guys? Welcome to Fitness Myths. I'm Sotiris. I hold a degree in physical education from the National and Kapodistrian University of Athens, Greece. And today's topic will be whether deadlifts as exercise is harmful or not, is dangerous or safe. I took the initiative for this video because I was triggered by a recent video from a fellow personal trainer regarding deadlifts who made a case against them as being very dangerous. I think this is wrong, and because this video was very representative of the general misconceptions and misunderstandings that flow around in the fitness industry regarding these types of exercise, I'd like to refute them, okay, one by one. So we'll start with a common one, which is that deadlifts are bad because they don't address all planes of motion, which of course, as a statement, it's true, but this necessarily does not is not an indicator for an exercise to be dangerous or not, to be valid or invalid. Okay, there are many exercises that can address multiple planes of movement. Deadlifts are not one of these, but the average trainee, practitioner in the weight room can perform myriads of other exercises, and he can easily, or she can easily, have the neuromuscular adaptation that he likes regarding his training. So I think this is easily refutable. Now, another comment that is always presented regarding deadlifts is that they tend to increase imbalances and asymmetries in the human body, which is a half-truth statement, because the human body is always full of imbalances and asymmetries. If you cut someone in half, right and left, you'll have by weight an asymmetry, starting by weight. And of course, these asymmetries and imbalances tend to increase because of the modern way of living. Okay, so this is not to say that a particular exercise is harmful. You don't have to put stress in asymmetries and imbalances from a get-go, right from the bat. Theoretically, if a practitioner addresses a personal trainer, the trainer should have an evaluation at hand about his medical history, his orthopedical dysfunctions, and so on and so forth. And after addressing these issues, the muscle shortenings and stuff, then if the trainer decides that this is the case, the practitioner can perform bipedal movements on a singular plane, such as deadlifts. Okay, so I think this statement about asymmetries and stuff doesn't hold any water. In addition, an argument was being made about the shear and compressive loads on the spinal column regarding deadlifts, which, as a separate statement, is true. The spinal column, of course, is exposed to tremendous amounts of stress and loads during a session with deadlifts. But as a general rule, as a separate thing, stress and load are not bad things by themselves. Okay, stress and load occurs every minute throughout the day of a human being. Okay, even if you're lying down on your bed, your spinal column is being stressed and loaded. Okay, so I think the point here to be made is that regarding deadlifts, you have to be very diligent, you have to be very gradual, you have to respect major principles of adaptation, and then you can proceed and have a human being performing them without any risk. If I have a middle-aged guy that knows nothing about deadlifts and it's time for him to start practicing them, I'll give him just a broomstick. After many sessions, I give him a light barbell, then a heavier one, then a heavier loaded one, and maybe in perspective of 2 or 3 years, he can easily perform deadlifts with multiple times his body weight. Okay. So the next one, the next misconception regarding deadlifts, floating around in the fitness industry and on the internet, of course, is that injuries happen even amongst professional athletes, which again, it's a half truth. Okay, you have to bear in mind that you can't compare two separate things: professional athletes and mass population or recreational practitioners. Professional athletes tend to put themselves in tremendous amount of loads and stress throughout the day. They always perform under some sort of fatigue, maybe overtrained, mostly arguably overtrained, and whether a biological material is not in the right place or their neuromuscular system is fatigued, they can make a small mistake and pay a very great price by injuring themselves, okay? But they work on tremendous amounts of stress. It's not like the rest of the population. Also, many of the injuries, most of the injuries occurring among professional athletes are injuries occurring in their field of play, not in the weight room. You have to bear that in mind. The majority of the percentage of the injuries amongst professional athletes occur in the field of play. That's why they go to the weight training room to have a greater adaptation, neuromuscular adaptation, and be not so fragile for their sport. Okay. Lastly, but not least, I think I should mention the tendency around the fitness industry to regard that most researchers refer to professional athletes or well-trained individuals and not the average ones, which is not true. This is not true. Okay. Many researchers refer to mostly untrained individuals, and many conclusions can be extrapolated by these researchers. And of course, if you want to be logical, sensical, and a little bit scientific, we have to have in mind that it's not always what you do, it's how you do it. If you respect the scientific rules, if you respect the scientific principles regarding physical education and education in general, of course, you're gonna have great results with minimum risks. Okay, so I think all these misconceptions stem from the inadequate exposure of those who spread them, both theoretical inadequacies and practical inadequacies. A trainer should find knowledge in books, but also in the weight room. You have to balance these two together if you want to have results for you and your clients. For example, many coaches tend to coach tending to do two major mistakes regarding deadlifts. One of them is that you should have maybe an arc, an overarching spine when you move the weight from the lower position to the upright position, which is as harmful and as potentially dangerous as if you are slouched and perform these kinds of movement, which also this slouch position has a special place in the world of weight training, okay? But this is another topic, okay? Not many respect the natural curvature of the spine, of the spinal regions, which have to be intact and not compromised during the whole movement. A second mistake, and I will stop here, is when they have their trainee on a bent position and ready to perform the deadlift, their coaching cue is pull, which is wrong. It gives the exact opposite notion to the mind of the trainee than the right one, which is push with your legs, the floor, and then push your hips forward. Okay, this was just for example. Okay, in order for us to understand how these misconceptions are originated. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you guys. Like, subscribe, and enjoy. See you later. Peace.